What up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video. Today's topic is about how to be a leader, right? How to separate yourself from being a follower to a leader, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have a lot of leadership qualities that I didn't even know of, right? Like, I learned these from books that I read and everything like that. So even growing up, right, I'll just tell you a brief story, like a brief summary about my life. Basically, I always did kind of what I wanted to do, right? You know, of course, there's boundaries and limits to what I get to do, but I always did what I want to do. Like, if my friends were going to go do something, I'm like, and I wanted to do something else, it didn't matter if they were with me or not, I'm going to do something, right? And a lot of people, like, they kind of need people around them to go into, like, a store or restaurant or to eat or just anything, like, kind of weird. Like, to me, that's kind of weird that you need somebody to go eat some food. But if I'm going to the restaurant, I don't give a fuck if I'm with somebody or not. If I'm in that bitch, I'm going to eat some food, bro. The main objection is food. It doesn't matter who is with me or not. You feel me? If I want somebody, of course I'm gonna invite them. But if I'm like, man, I'm about to go get some food, bro, I'm just gonna go get some food. Like, that's what it is, right? So a lot of people nowadays are followers. Like, you will see, you know, it's just in our human nature that you will go to somebody who has the answers, who seems like they have the answers, right? Like, for somebody like me, right? You know, I'm a leader, but I do look up to people, right? I'm definitely a leader, but I do look up to people. There's people that I want to take a little bit of, you know, things from them on their qualities and put it within myself. So, like, someone like Andrew Tate, bro, he is so smart. He's literally a leader, and he does everything he's supposed to do. He wants money, everything like that. And he's just somebody, like, for instance, that I kind of look up to, right? No matter what the media says about him, everything like that. I watched a lot about him, so I implement a lot of his things into me, kind of thing, right? So I've wrote down some things, and you're gonna hear it. So, being a leader isn't as hard as we think. It is pretty simple, but if you're insecure and not brave, you could never be a leader, right? A lot of people nowadays are insecure, you know, they're following other people, you know, all types of shit. It's just weird to me, man. So, all of the followers are insecure and not sure of themselves. That is 100% true. Always in need of someone's approval and must have directions in life for everything. Like a cheat code, just somebody to tell them, like, you know, like a boss to tell them to do this, that, and the third. Like, you know, I want to be the boss. I don't want to be a fucking peasant just having somebody tell me what to do all the time. You know, like, that's not Patrick, bro. So, you know, might sound like people you know. Everyone had that popular kid in school. I observe everything. People wanted to be around him/her and wanted to fit in, because he was confident in himself and didn't care about what anyone else thinks. If he told someone to do something in order to impress him and to get them to like him or get him to like them, they did it. They did it no matter what, no extreme, whatever. If he told that kid to go smack somebody, he's gonna go do it or just whatever, right? He just did it so that they can like him. And I've seen so much shit like that, bro. And without realizing, even back then, like, I kind of had, you know, I had my group, right? Like, and I wouldn't say there was a leader, but if there is one, that was me. Like, real shit. So, without realizing, they are his pawns and he's the king. He's the person who tells people what to do, like the boss, the big homie. He tells that person to do something, and it gets done. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. And if not, he's not fucking with that person, right? That's how it was even in school, just as kids, right? So, without realizing, they're his pawns and he's the king. So I'll teach you how to be the king and rule as you please, right? So I'm not gonna lie, I try to live life as a king, you know, just me, whatever I want to do. If I say something, I say it once, you know, I'm gonna go over qualities of what leaders and kings do. So rule number 1, this is big. Be confident and sure of yourself. And if you're not, you must hide your insecurity. Hide it. Don't tell anybody it. Don't show it to anybody. Because even when somebody comes around you and express their emotions, you'll lose a little respect within that person. Not gonna lie to you, right? Especially if it's a man. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? So, like I said earlier, everyone follows somebody who is confident and very sure of themselves. If they look like that person has the answers, right? Like I said, Andrew Tate, I feel like this guy has, like, the answers to almost everything. Like, if I asked this dude a question, I feel like he would give me a good fucking answer to, like, the most stupidest, it could be the most outrageous thing, but I feel like he knows it, so I would ask him the question, you feel me? So, you have to act like, well, if you're not confident, you have to fake it, right? Like, I'm going to explain that. And you have to, but when you really feel confident, like how I feel confident, I am sure of myself. There is nobody that can tell me that Patrick is this, is that, and the third. You know, I heard rumors about me just recently, just all types of stupid shit. I'm just like, Wow, I didn't know that about Patrick. Please tell me more. Like, literally, I heard that I've done some stupid shit. I've done this. I've done that. I'm like, wow, you must know me very well. And it's funny to hear that shit. So I'm not going to lie to you. This is what I wrote. Everyone looks up to someone who is confident and is sure of what he's doing, he or she's doing, right? Like I said earlier with Andrew Tate and everything like that. Think about Jesus and his disciples. Whether you believed in him or not, they did, and they believed he had the answers. So they followed him and did whatever he said to do. If you go read the Bible, he has, I believe, 12 disciples, and they followed him his everywhere to go. I used to be so much very religious, but I kind of lost track of my religious and shit. But basically, they did whatever he said, and that's what it was. They followed him because he had the answers. They felt like this guy is Jesus, and this is Jesus, this is God coming down to earth, and they followed his every move, right? So I also wrote, feel insecure in private, fake confidence until you have confidence. Better to fake it until you make it. That is 100% true. I don't care what anybody says. If you're gonna walk around with your shoulders like this, and you're just not gonna take up space, and you're just not that guy, of course you're not. I'm not gonna look at you as a confident guy. They're gonna look up to the person who has their head high. I always say this: have your head high, your chest up, your back straightened, and walk like aligned, like how you're supposed to do. Just somebody that, I'm not even tall, but I feel like even with that, I'm just taller, and I have so much dominance within me when I walk. I always get nods from people, just even somebody I don't fucking know. They just nod their head at me, whether I'm in the gym, anything like that. I get some sort of respect, and people respect it. And I'm going to go into respect as well. So it's better to fake it until you make it, like I said, and feel insecure in private. Everyone has insecurities, right? There's no one, no matter how hard and how much people say that they have confidence in this, that, they always have something that they're insecure about. But they keep that within themselves, and you will never know. You will never know what I'm insecure about. I won't even show it. Even if you bring up, you hit exactly the point, I will have the poker face, and you won't realize what it is. You won't know if it hit home or not, right? You won't realize if he's getting in his feelings or anything, because I'll keep the poker face and just keep it moving. So 2, speak less, listen more. Keep conversations short and firm. That is 100% what a leader does. If you go to any movie, if you heard any king from back then, I read a lot of books about kings from back then, Napoleon, leaders like that, Julius Caesar, shit like that. They don't speak much. When they want to talk, they talk once, and everyone in that room hears it. If not, they could go fuck themselves. That's exactly how I move. I do not repeat myself. If you didn't hear it, it doesn't matter if, I'm sorry, you could be somebody of my family, anything. If you didn't hear what I said, that's tough. You're not going to hear it again come out of my mouth. So by doing that, that makes your attention so much more. Like, once you say something, you're not going to repeat it. They're going to be like, come on, repeat it. Like, they want to hear you speak now. So whenever you speak and you don't repeat it, like if you don't repeat it and they're like, come on, you just keep it moving. Whenever you speak now, they're going to want to hear it. They're going to hear it and listen very closely. So that's what a king does, right? And also keep the conversation short. Nobody wants to hear somebody rambling. And when you often ramble, people, you're more likely to say something stupid, right? Say something out of the character that you're trying to portray. So if you're a king, and say if you're going back and forth with somebody in the jokes and everything, and you say something corny, everything like that, you just look like a regular person. You don't want to try to fuck up your image by talking so much. Talking it's the number one thing that is like will fuck you up, right? Like if somebody thinks you're like, oh, this guy, you're this, that, and the third, and then you open your mouth, and you're just not what they thought they were in your image. But if you shut your mouth, they would still think of you as that person. Oh my God, he's so handsome, this, that, and the third. But once you open your mouth and say something out of pocket, out of line, they're just not gonna respect it and be like, oh, that's not even, that's where the personality comes in, where like if that person doesn't have a good personality or talks well or anything like that, you're like, man, fuck that person no matter how good they look. That's how I feel, right? So I wrote, in order to be like a king, you must act like one. Talking a lot will make you seem normal, and you want to stand out. Talk in quotas and say things only once, like I went over. This is all about power. Imagine this. A leader has his troops in a group and they listen, right? So if you're in the army and you're a lieutenant or the person that's like the leader, they say line up or something. And if you don't line up, get the fuck on the ground, do 100 push-ups right now. If you didn't hear what he says, get on the fucking ground, do 100 push-ups. So his attention from these people, from the troops, they must listen to his every move and everything like that. So they train the troops to listen. And if you don't fucking listen, it's push-ups, it's consequences, it's something getting hurt, just something like that. It's consequences if you don't listen. So you kind of want to be a king, just like a lieutenant, or if you're in the army and shit like that, or I believe in I forget what it's called, but if you're in line and you don't listen, or if you talk back or anything like that, you get on the floor, do 100 push-ups. If not, you're getting the fuck up out of there. Straight like that. They teach you discipline, and that's how a king exactly is. A king moves just by being himself, right? So the third tip is, do what you want, but don't abuse it. Remember, you're the king. Whatever you say goes, but do not go overboard. Too much of anything isn't good. Be reasonable and your troops will obey, right? So you're the king, but you have to show some love, right? A lot about being a king is just mostly it's a lot of like harsh tactics that you want these people to do, or whatever, your troops or your pawns, you want them to do and whatever. But if you're too harsh, they're not going to want to fuck with you. They want to get out of line. Like if you're in real life and you want your friends to do something, everything like that. And if you're too harsh and you don't show a little bit of love, they're not going to fuck with you. That's just what it is. They're not going to, somebody keeps telling me what to do, like a boss kind of thing. It's like, man, I'm not fucking with you, bro. Like, no matter how much of a groupie, even the groupies you are, I'm not going to fuck with you. Even the groupie's not going to want to fuck with you. So mix a little love within there. It's all about power. So you mix a little love, like, nah, bro. Or whatever they do something, you show them a love and everything like that. They know that they're going to get love from you whenever they do something correctly with you. So you show them a little love, and they're a little happy within that. Like, they're content, but don't show too much love either, because then they could bite you in your ass. They could try to overthrow your position as the leader of the group of whatever you want to be, right? So just remember that type of shit. Don't be too nice or too mean, like I said. And examples. Another thing that I can say is being too nice or too mean, right? Like if I see somebody that's so mean, like in life, like I just meet somebody that's so mean, just cursing, screaming, everything, arguing with people, everything like that. One, I think they're going through stuff and everything like that. So it makes me skeptical of this person, and you automatically want to stay away from them. And especially if you're too nice. Too nice, like being too mean, I understand he probably had a hard upbringing and everything like that. But if you're too nice to me, that makes me even more skeptical of you, right? So I could show you how both ways are, you know, don't be too nice or too mean, even just in general. If you're too fucking nice, me personally, I'm just like, well, why does this dude so fucking nice to me, bro? Like, no funny shit. Like, it could be a good cause even, but even if it's just a good person, just, you know, being nice and everything like that, I'm just like, yo, there's something about that dude I do not know about, right? If they're too nice, always saying, you know, just kindly things and just everything like that, I'm just like, yo, I gotta stay. There's something about him I do not know about. And that makes me very skeptical. So you do not want to be in a skeptical position where people are questioning you, and, you know, it just doesn't lead up for what a king is, right? So the fourth and last step is earn respect by any means. Your reputation is everything. Your reputation is everything. With that, I read that in the book of 48 Laws of Power. There's a chapter, guard your reputation. Your reputation is everything. Guard your reputation with your life or some shit like that. So earn respect by any means. Whenever somebody respects you, there is a line, right? There's that line that people, once they respect, they do not cross over. Whenever somebody respects you, there is a line that they do not cross over. Reputation must be guarded. Example, Mike Tyson. So like I said, when somebody, you have a fair respect with people, right? A fair share of respect for somebody who is your friend or everything or anything like that. And, you know, even like stuff like joking, everything, you don't say a certain joke about my mom. Like if you're my friend, you won't say that shit. It's just something like, you don't step out of line. If you do, we throwing them. Like, you know that we're going to have a problem, right? So you don't step that line. And also, your reputation, you must guard it with your life. Every time somebody steps that line, you put them in check every single time. Every time the moment you don't put that person in check, like, it doesn't have to be physical or anything, just breaking it down, like, yo, do not talk like that. Or just, you know, if it leads to being physical, then it has to be physical. Like, you do not back down. But when you don't check that shit, your troops and the people that are watching you around, you're vulnerable. You're now vulnerable, and people can be like, man, he not even like that, or he just, you know, he's not what he portrays himself as, right? So if you don't put that in check every time you're disrespected, the people, your friends even, can even just be like, I've never seen that before. I know that there's a side of pussy kind of, or just scared, like that person is scared, right? And like a perfect example like this is Mike Tyson. I do not mean by any means you have to be like Mike Tyson, right? But Mike Tyson put a certain fear into people, even his opponents coming up, from what he has done and what he has shown. Nobody on this earth is gonna volunteer their hands to say, I want to fight prime Mike Tyson. There is nobody on this world that would say that, right? So he has earned that throughout every year, you know, just somebody saying something to him and him just putting it in line. You know, it doesn't have to be physical like the way he had put it, but you know, he portrayed a scary image, like a very scary image, that even like his interviews, it was like a interview, he's like, I wanna eat his kids, I wanna eat his children, I want him to feel pain, I want him to do this. It makes him more scary and more scarier. But like I said, well, I haven't said this, but he is human throughout time. You know, he could lose, he lost plenty of times, but there's those people that they don't want to fight him. They're not going to want to fight him again, and just stuff like that. He earned his respect. And you know, if you're talking to him, like I said, there's a fine line that you don't cross. If you're talking to Mike Tyson, you do not want to get him mad. That's just rule number one. You should know that. Like it's not like, you know, you have to pussy out or anything like that, but you do not want to get him mad. Like, why? He's a heavyweight champion who's been sleeping shit for years, bro. So those are my 4 tips on how to be a king and a leader almost, you know. If you want to, it's like, it is a lot of like kind of power and manipulation kind of thing. But, you know, once you realize that the world is just like that in general, like it's just kind of is like this, you know. So once you realize that, you'll be better set off in the world. And, you know, not saying that you have to use power on everybody like that. Like I said, I am my own leader. But I'm not going to be hurting. I do not hurt the weak ones to make me look strong or anything. That makes me look pussy if I've done that. I do not do stuff like that, right? I try to help people and try to give the knowledge that I know to people like you guys, so that you can know that whenever you see somebody trying to act out of line and everything like that, you put them in check. Or, you know, you realize that this person's trying to take advantage of you, or just trying to overthrow you, or just have more power and be over you like this, you know. Now you know, like, just from the information I give you. So stay yourself, stay 300, and whatever you do in life, trust me, I believe in you, bro.